In a week where youngster Charles Rwanga's 86th-minute header restored parity for Kcca FC and salvaged the point against rivals Express Football Club in the derby played at Wankulukuku, and also ending that 3-game bad run for the football club, we bring to you the highlights from the games that happened this week, the reactions from the fans, the coach, and the players of Kcca FC, and also the build-up ahead of the Star Times Uganda Premier League games that will happen next week against Wakiso Giants Football Club away in Wakiso, and also the home game against Kcca Football Club, the new boys in the league. It is Season 2, Episode 12 of the Kcca Fc TV show. My name is Magero Mwanje. You and I are walking this journey together. Now, to start it off with the club news from Kcca FC, we'll go to the AFCON Under-20, and our boys in Mauritania keep representing, because this week they played a game against Mozambique, because Uganda is pitted in a group that has Mozambique, Cameroon, and the hosts Mauritania. And Uganda winning that one definitely. Against Mozambique, Uganda won the game 2-0. The first goal scored by Derek Kakoze, it was a penalty, and the second goal scored by one of our own, a midfielder at Kcca FC, Steven Serrada, the teenager, the youngster. And he came on as a substitute in this game, and he slotted a very powerful shot that rattled the woodwork before it got inside the back of the net. So, top stuff for the football club, because we're already being represented in this tournament. One of our players has already registered a goal in this one, that is in Steven Serrada. We had Musa Ramadan start this game. He's the only Kcca FC player that started this game. And also we had other players that came off the bench, in players like Chiza Bukenya, Joseph, he came on as a substitute in this one. Others that were not played are Andrew Kawoya, Kafombe Joseph, they did not come onto the field of play on the day. And then also Samuel Senyonjo, that was against Mozambique. And then still they also played the game this week against Cameroon, and they lost that one 1-0. Still Musa Ramadan, the only Kcca FC player that started in this one. And then we had a few players that came on as substitutes in this one, but kudos to all the guys that are in Mauritania representing the football club and also representing the nation at large. So we know that we really trust the group of players. They're the entire Uganda Hippos side, and then we hope they can make it out of the group stages, and it will be history, because it's the first time the Uganda Hippos have ever made it to the AFCON Under-20 tournament. And we also hope that they also make more history by making it out of the groups. That is the group where they are with Cameroon, Mauritania, the hosts, and Mozambique. So keep raising the flag of Uganda higher, guys, and because we're really behind you, and we really believe you can get us to the greater heights that we really deserve to be in. Now, straight into the Star Times Uganda Premier League games that happened this week. Kcca FC were visitors to Express Football Club in that game happening at Wankulukuku, and Kcca FC picked a point in this one, that is ending a bad run for the football club that had the club lose 3 games on the bounce, that is against SC Villa and URA before we got to that break, and again against Bull Football Club, that was after the break, when then the resumption of the Star Times Uganda Premier League happened. So definitely Kcca FC coming back in this one and picking a point against old rivals Express in the Kampala derby. And I feel this derby lived up to its expectations, because everyone was really hyped for this one, because they thought the hosts Express Football Club had the biggest chance to get all the 3 points against Kcca FC. A lot of people coming out to say that the club was short of confidence, and the players lacked the character, and probably some of them did not deserve to wear that jersey. But hell no, the players came on the day and really fought to make sure at least they would get that point, and made sure the confidence was built on from that game. Definitely Kcca FC starting the game with the captain Charles Lukwago in goal, and we had a couple of changes in this one, because players like Fillbert, Obenchan started their first game for this season, and also players like Charles Rwanga, that youngster that scored in that game, also starting his first game for the football club. And also, just like I said, he scored in that one. Players like Musa Na, Hassan had a run out in this one. And then the usual suspects in Brian Aheebwa playing in this one, Ashraf Mugumi, Kezron Chezito, and other players like Herbert Achai, plus the Minister of Defense himself, Peter Magambo. Definitely other players coming off the bench, Juma Balinya and Chigozi Samson. He started on the bench for this one. They came on as substitutes, and also later on in the game, Kato Samuel coming on to play as a defender, replacing a player in Moses Aliro who happened to have pulled up a muscle in that one. We'll get to see if he's able to play on for the games that will happen next week. But KCCA FC salvaging a point in this one. And just to tell you what exactly happened at Wankulukuku, KCCA FC going behind just at the stroke of halftime. We conceded a goal, that is Eric Kambale tapped in from Godfrey Resivawa's free kick at the stroke of halftime.
Eric Kambale akubidde timu Express goal yabwe mu dakika 45. Eric Kambale free kick. Tuwabeerawo area Express mwesobola okubeera nga ebonyabonya tiimu ya KCCA FC ze set pieces ye size eyo olutandetaze na mutwe. Look at that poor marking. Tewali yadde aliko. This is a set piece. It's not a cross. Tekusigamba nti oba.
And just because of Eric Kambale's tapping, and definitely the club going into a break with that one, and the boys were talked to and then they were motivated. It was not over. This was a derby. I'm sure those are some of the words the coaches were trying to tell the boys, and also the boys motivating themselves. We had a very entertaining second half, an end-to-end where we had player in Brian Aheebwa rattle the woodwork, players like Fillbert Obenchan, Musa na Hassan. I mean, trying to attempt on goal, but I mean, they were equal to the questions that were being asked. They had the answers to the questions that were being asked. And Express Football Club holding on up until the 86th minute when we got a corner kick and Musana Hassan curled a very brilliant ball into the box that met the youngster who was floating in the air in Charles Ruanga and nodded home.
Chance bazono nyaba timu y'abanafe aba Express. Charles Ruanga akubye goal kuli emwemu Express bajikubya akatimba. Oh my God, tukyogeddeko nnyo. Bakoze emikisa esobola okuwangula emipiira ena mu mupiira gumu, naye set piece again joyinza okulowooza nti kyekimu ku areas ze nabadde nsuubira nti nno tiimu ya Express FC esobola okuzidominatinga comfortably ku tiimu eya KCCA FC olwaleero nebeera nga omu ku bavubuka abasinga obutono ku kisaawe agenze mu bbanga akikoze atya mu defense erimu bali mulushudujuuko
the game ending 1-1, that is for KCCA FC and Express Football Club, and KCCA FC getting that 1 point, and that meant that the club now has 10 points from 7 games. Many people coming out to say, no, that's not where KCCA FC should be. Yes, we all know that's not where KCCA FC should be, but we'll pick that point from that game, and we know that what happens from that game up until the end of the season will be something that, I mean, really build the confidence of the players, because we got into that game with a 3-game loss. That is SC Villa, URA Football Club, Bull Football Club, and you feel that is the game that had to rejuvenate the confidence in these players. We picked the point, and we know that point will really help the football club going forward. And after that game between Express Football Club and KCCA Football Club, we caught up with the fans of KCCA FC and asked them what they had to say about that game. I mean, KCCA FC drawing with old rivals, Express Football Club. This is what the fans had to say. Have a look.
Njogera ku nsonga ya tiimu yaffe engeri gyekolamu ennaku zino nga ffe abawagizi tetusanyusa. Eddembe liyitiridde Lugogaawo, simanyi oba abakulu temugamba ku kochi Mike, naye ensonga tiimu yaffe etuluma lwe tulaba kansonga eyongera kukka wansi.
Ekyamazima yatusambye kuba tukoze buli kimu, n'olwokuba nti naffe tuli banene twakozesezza omukisa ogumu gwe twafunye okulanga tujjayo akabonero. Mayoni si wangu nnyo, naye ekituufu tiimu yaffe yombi changes zirina okubaawo, buli musambi n'asaba mu position ye entuufu.
Ya Mike Mutebi tabeeraga koshayi kugamba nti nno tiimu ye ne weeba ekubwa bajja sigala nga basamba mu ngeri y'emu yamanyi yokka eyo era gye tumanye enyeeyo ey'okulumba.
Olwaleero nazze nga sisuubira nti ninawo ki wini okusinziira bwenziza emipiira 3 gyendabye, naye nze ku kino kyendabye abasuubira okugoba Mike Mutebi bosa yalina okugenda lwaki chansi zafunye nnyingi bosa yalina okugenda mu kino ekintu afunye kyaso oba 16 naye ogamba otya mbu okubye ggoolo emu
kale kwegamba ate be emikisa gyabwe bagiruuzinze nnyo naye ffe ate ne tukozesa omukisa gumu ne tuteeba ggoolo.
Oh my God, tukyogeddeko nnyo bakoze emikisa esobola okuwangula emipiira ena mu mupiira gumu naye set piece again.
Ne tiimu ennafunga zino z'olaba z express ze twandibadde tuvayo ne tukuba ng'essaawa zino olwana bulwanyi okufunawo n'akabonero mulabye eyikolaiza tugifunye mu dakiika ya 86 nga tulwana bulwanyi ffe tuwona tiimu ey'amaanyi nga KCC tutandika sizoni nga tulina ebigendererwa bya kuwangula kikopo ffe tumanyidde kubeera ku tebo waggulu naye okulaba KCC essaawa zino ng'eri mu kifo kya 9 erwana ekkirira kya 10 nga zitiimu ez'akajobuzi zituyitako ffe ng'abawagizi kituluma.
Kyekituuse ku ttiimu yaffe kuba mupiira gwakola gwa mudiringanwa singa KCCA beekubiddwa mu byafaayo bya ttiimu ene badde kuwanka opiira ena gya mudiringanwa opiira kuyinza okusanga kikoze.
Ekirala kibadde batusinga nga mu defense nga batulumba nnyo ne Kasabaleese mu kato n'agezaako kale okukola ki okutereezaamu.
Neera nga ttiimu yonna yonna waliwo akarwani we kabeera akabi nga bibaawo mu mupiira nti oluusi team selection eyinza obbulamu omusambi oba tugeze bamusambisiza mu position etali yiye nga kiriko nnyo wano ku kanso osanga defender nga oluusi bamukubisiza mukaaga ne bamukubisa mu back kati osanga ttiimu eri organized of course eba erina okubakuba.
Poor marking okuva mu Express FC yesanze mu boxi okuva KCCA FC yesanze mu boxi Kambale nga tewali muntu yenna amwatendinzeeko.
obunafu bubaddewo Express nafu KCC tukoze ekikola ki manyi gye tweyongera tubulamu omusabi nga olanga Juma Balinya nga asobola okukwatirirwa omupiira ate nga asobola ogushuutinga ne mu ggoolo.
Charles Rwanga akubye goal kuli emwemu Express bagikubye akatimba.
Interesting opinions from the fans, but hey, at least you get to feel that the confidence of the fans is up there after that 86th minute goal by Charles Rwanga, who was starting his first game for KCCA FC. Most of the games he's been coming on as a substitute, but top class for him. I know it will build his confidence as a player, and also it built the confidence of very many stakeholders, the fans, even the management, plus the coaches. And you get to think that we'll take on that point, and we know that it will help to build the football club heading forward. We'll be going to the break, and when we return, we still have a lot more. The coaches' opinions and reactions after that game, plus the players of KCCA FC after #EXP KCCA FC after this break. Now, welcome back from that break. I told you we have the coaches' reactions plus the players of KCCA FC after that game between Express Football Club and KCCA FC at Wankulukuku. Definitely KCCA FC catching up with the gaffer himself after that game, that is Mike Hilary Mutebi. He had a lot to say about this one, and that is after getting that point against old rivals Express Football Club. And there's nothing as a press conference from the manager himself, Mike Mutebi. This is what he had to say after this game.
Express ezannye bulungi owulidde ekyo experience yes abazannyi abamu abasinga abange experience owulidde naye nga omupiira bazze kuwangula era obalabye nga batwataakinga bulungi nnyo n'emikisa ne bagitondawo owulidde ffe tukyalinamu okubeera careless. Abaana bano abato bakola mistakes nyingi ez'ekito naye kijja with experience owulidde. So nsuubira nti no result ebadde fair. Ekizibu kyaffe kiri nti tetuteeba, tutondawo emikisa naye tetuteeba. Abasambi baffe ab'omu maaso bapakuukirira nnyo omupiira wetugutwala wali mu final third betako okufreezinga n'asooka abeera nagwo n'aleeta abalala into play naye bapakuka nnyo owulidde. So chances tuzikwata naye olumu zakibwatukira tezibeera constructed n'olabira ddala nti tuluusa omupiira wano tugenda creatinga chance naye kiva mu maaso baffe tebamanyi bulungi kuteeka mupiira. otegeera naye ebyo bijja with training. Ffe referee tatuwadde penalty ngebulayo eddakiika 3 wali. It was a penalty. It have been 2-1. Okay? Express creating emikisa gyayo naye netagikozesa. Etusinza okucreating emikisa. Ffe tetucreatinze mingi naye tetucreatinze emingi nga ddala ogwagunde penalty. It have been a penalty. So, naye nga I still insist game was fair, balanced. Teams zombi zigezezaako okuzannya omupiira. Bali betukompitinga nabo bajja kusiika binyomo. Express yajja kusiika binyomo. Yala yagala kuwangula kikopo. Express yagala kuwangula kikopo. Bonna baagala okuwangula ekikopo naye ffe tulina kukola kyaffe. Owulidde? Nabo ye biriifu yaabwe nti bazze mu liigi baagala kuwangula. Naffe biriifu yaffe. So buli omu alina kukola kiki okulanga ki ng'awangula. Mbagamba abasambi abo ababalimbalimba tibalina ekitone promising bengenda nga mpa second chance. Balina okuadaputinga in the way we play. Sikuzannya osegedde kati balinnya agenda ajjamu agenda amanyiira Kezirone agenda amanyiira be mwalimu expectinga naye ndowooza olaba bano abakola enjawulo buno obuto bufadiga obukulidde mu system bana abagizeemu. It is going to take time for them to adapt. Kubanga si tetujja kuzannya buzanyi tujja kuwangula kikopo nga tumala gazannya omupiira teguliko identity tekisoboka. Tekisoboka. We shall play the way we play, attractive, attacking football with no fear. Tuteekemu abasambi abajja mu kyetwagala. Kati abazannya abo bagenda bajjamu kyetwagala. Balinnya tulowooza nti basobola okujja mu kyetwagala era kyova abantu twabaleeta okoledde okwongerako experience ku bano abaana abato baserwadda awulidde bakezironi experience awulidde mwenda bw'ateeba ggoolo sijja mujja mu kisaawe. Aheebwa amisinga chances nyingi naye kibeerawo otegedde nina omwongero muwa chance otegedde nga n'abale abalala basambwe bakomawo asenyonyi kubanga mwendawo bw'abanga akutebera ggoolo kiba kizibu nnyo omujja mu kisaawe owulidde so Luwanga naye ateebye.
Kcca FC olwaleero nebeera nga omu ku bavubuka abasinga obutono ku kisaawe agenze mu bbanga akikoze atya mu defense erimu bali mulishudujjuuko.
Pressure yaki pressure yaki tulina kubeera ne responsibility okugezaako okupikinga points awulidde n'ebya pressure nze siina pressure gojina waswa.
Well, you've heard it from the gaffer himself coming out to say that we'll keep on playing beautiful football. The club is not facing any pressures because of what has been exactly happened, but he also acknowledges that the club has got to improve that is the performances that they are putting up, and he knows that some of the things will take time. He also goes on to say that he will keep on giving games to players like Charles Ranga. That's if they perform, because he says if a striker is shining, why shouldn't he be playing? And also he mentioned something about Brian Aheebwa that, well, it happens, he may not be scoring right now, but you've got to give him more games to make sure you build his confidence and show your trust in him so that he can be able to get back to his best form and scoring goals just like he did before the break. So that is all about the gaffer Mike Hilary Mutebi, but we also caught up with the players of Kcca FC, and these are the reactions after that game between Express Football Club and KCCA.
It's an important point in many ways, being that one of them being that it was a derby. Playing against Express has never been easy, especially at their home ground. Two, Express, I think by the time we played them, had not lost a game in the league this season, and they have a good form, having won away before us.
Picking a point from Express, is a good build-up after a very bad performance that we had the previous 2 games. But I believe that point we picked from Express will help us to build from there and achieve more wins in the coming matches.
Having gone behind the goal towards the end of the first half, and we managed to pull ourselves back and salvage a point was something that is important. And the other thing maybe also you can say that in a way it helped to put an end to the losing streak we were on, and we hope to build on that going forward, going into the upcoming games.
Particularly my fans and KCCA Football Club fans, what I can say is that they should be hopeful in because we are ready to bounce back, and we shall do whatever it takes to get back to our winning ways and score more goals. Yeah.
Well, that's it from the players of Kcca FC coming out to say that that point picked against Express Football Club at Wanklukuku will help build the confidence of the team going forward. And they're showing, I mean, a lot of belief and positivity in this one. And I mean, if you get it from the players, who else and what more would you want to hear than getting the right stuff from the players? But remember, we also played a game against MYDA Football Club this week, and here are the highlights of everything that happened during this game before we go into that break. Goal for Kcca. Goal number 5, KCCA Football Club, scored by shot number 20, Brian and Kari. Now, welcome back from that break. I told you that we have games still in the Star Times Uganda Premier League this week. That is the coming week. And then Kcca FC will be visiting Wakiso Giants Football Club away in Wakiso, that is the Wakiso Stadium. And also will host Chitara Football Club, the new boys, in the Star Times Uganda Premier League on Saturday. That is at the MTN Omondi Stadium. But first, we'll start with that game against Wakiso away. In history, these two clubs have played only twice. Wakiso Giants joined the Star Times Uganda Premier League last season, that is the 2019-2020 season. And on the opener of that season, Kcca FC hosted Wakiso Giants, and that game ending 1-0 in favor of Kcca FC. Alan Okello coming up to score in that game, early in the game, about 5 minutes into the game, and the game ending 1-0. But before then, still, KCCA had played Wakiso Giants at Waukesha, and that was in the Pilsner Super 8. And KCCA FC won this game 2-0, goals from Sadata Anaku and a player in Patrick Kadu, who went on to leave the football club. So that means Wakiso Giants has never scored a goal against KCCA Football Club. That is in history, because the first game ended 2-0, that is the Pilsner Super 8. And also last season, the club hosted Wakiso Giants, that is at the MTN Omondi, and that game ended 1-0 in favor of KCCA. We did not play the return leg because the pandemic happened, and it was among the 5 games that were yet to be played before the closure of the league. So we get to visit Wakiso Giants, that is on Tuesday, and the available squad, definitely we have Charles Lukwago, and then we have the guys that exactly played that game against Express Football Club last week, players in Obenchan Fillbert, Musana Hassan, the Minister of Defense himself, Peter Magambo, players in Mugume Ashraf, Kezron Chizito, Brian Aheebwa, Charles Toranga, name it, all the players that were really available for those 2 games, that is against MYDA Football Club and Express Football Club, will be available for this one. And I mean, the history between Wakiso Giants and KCCA FC is on Wakiso Giants' side. That is, all odds show that KCCA FC should be winning this one. But hey, we are away, and our form has not really been good in the past games, but these are some of the games we feel the football club should be winning. And then also later on in the week, we'll be hosting Chitara Football Club, a new team in the Star Times Uganda Premier League. They joined the league in the 2020-2021 season, and we'll be giving them a very hospitable experience. That is at the MTN Omondi Stadium, because we love to show our hospitality, especially against these teams that are just coming to the league. It's going to be a very entertaining one, I should say, because it's on a perfect day. It's a Saturday, and then we have some of the players coming back from injuries, and they will feature in this one. But I mean, the positivity in this one, and the positive thing, especially towards the players and the coaches, is that you get to feel that the team is now playing exactly how the manager wants them to play and how the coaches want the team to play. So this is exactly the entire picture. If you really want to know what is exactly going to happen in these games, that is against Wakiso and against Chitara Football Club. But we have everything that the players and the coaches had to say ahead of this one. So have a look.
We are trying to grow into the way we play. We have been losing matches, not that we are playing badly, no. We were a little bit careless, okay? But now the players are getting to terms to the way we play, because the way we play is very specific. Is very specific. Now, sometimes it takes these players to adopt, sometimes others adapt early, others take time. But as we go on, these are young players, really 19-year-olds, you know, trying to teach them the way we play, because it's not about only coaching. It's about teaching them really how the game is played. So they are improving, it is good. Padiga is improving, Ruanga is improving, and the others. And that gives us confidence, because we have scored 5 goals. Even in the matches we played, we created chances. Those matches we lost, we created chances, but the only problem was we were not effective. Even today, we created so many chances, but not effective enough. So it gives the lads confidence to get prepared for the next match against Wakiso Giants.
Obviously, we know where we are and where we should be. We are working on getting where we should be, and one of the ways we should get where we should be is through playing games. So the team is eager to play those fixtures and pick maximum points, so that we try to get where we should be. It's not going to be a walk through the park. Wakiso are a formidable side. They are. I think they have not lost so many games at their home. They've made it effortless. So We know how much challenge they possess, and the team is ready to go there and also put up a challenge and fight for the points.
Our games that we have next week, what I can encourage fans is they should be hopeful in us that we are going to pick those points that in the coming games, because we are ready to bounce back stronger.
And if a center forward is scoring, he's learning how to play there. It's good for him. It gives him more confidence. So we shall play him. He centered his case that in the absence of Senyonjo Sam and Anaku, and even in the availability of Aheebwa, he has fronted his case and is playing well. So it's good for us and good for the whole team.
There is no game that's going to be easy for us this season, given the way teams have assembled themselves, but we need to focus on ourselves. We need to try and win games however hard they could be.
We continue playing, trying to gather points, and like I said, it's a marathon. We go on, we concentrate on our own area, try to win matches, and I think that will take us where we want.
Does it bring you back into the title race?
Everybody's in the title race. Everybody's in the title race. You can see, can't you see what is happening? Police, Viper, URA, Express, Vida, UPDF, all these are in the title race. So we have to work on our own to try to maybe try to win the league.
Well, those are the reactions from the players of Kcca FC ahead of those games next week. But we also caught up with the fans of Kcca FC and asked them what do they think ahead of the games against Wakiso Giants Football Club and also Kcca Football Club, the new boys in the league. This is what the fans had to say ahead of these games.
Omutendesi waffe wanaaba akoze changes zasaanidde okukola. Sira nsonga lwaki tetuba tetukuba kitala. Omusambi waba asambye mu position ye gy'amanyi gy'akubidde ebbanga aba akiperfectinga. Kisingako okukwata 2 aye n'omukubisa mu 6 n'okukwata 3 n'omukubisa mu center back, ekyo kibaako okukola ensobi ez'omudiringanwa. Naye bwe tuba tukoze ekyo nsuubira tufuna positive results. Kati ensonga endala emu kuzikubya kanso ebiro bino kwe kujjawo abasambi ab'omuzinzi aye ne tutafuna replacement z'amaanyi. For instance, Muzambiru Mutyaba okusinziira ku kulaba okwange yali asigalawo, abaana ne bamuyigirako lwansonga yalina maturity mu game, ng'alina game reading, ng'ayinza oyingira n'akyusa omupiira. Waawo ebiseera ebisinga yalwalanga naye nga presence ye ku kisaawo abeerawo ng'ematalinga. Okwokubiri Saddam Juma waawo yamalanga ebbanga ddene ku buliri naye nga waba akomyewo ne bamubaddemu eddakiika 2 olabira ddala maturity mu game. Ngira ogenda olaba omupiira ogubadde guganye ataddewo crosses ez'omutawaana oluusi ashootinze result n'ekiwuka.
Naye okulaba Kcca essaawa zino ng'eri mu kifo kya 9 erwana ekkirira kya 10 nga zittiimu ez'akajobuzi zituyitako, ffe ng'abawagizi kitulumira ddala nga ffe abawagizi. Era Coach Mike weekyekinge ffe tuwulira ennaku y'amaanyi ku ttiimu yaffe eyo. Sikulimba abasambi obafuna ne twawukana nabo nga tebakyayagala na kuwuliza bifalugogo. Lwansonga Mutyaba babaddewo nga olaba bakola bulungi naye wabejjako mu mbeera enzibu ennyo. Ffe tulina obulumi otunuulira liigi ya wano twetaaga abasambi bamachuwa naye kati ku Kcca tokyabalaba. Okiraba
ate eyo kitala wano tuyitawo ne tukwata n'eno.
Well, that is it from the fans of Kcca FC. A lot of positivity shown from them, and they get to say that the club now has got to start and win games. That is, go to Wakiso, pick 3 points, and then get back against Kcca Football Club at the MTN Omondi and still pick all the 3 points. And that's all about this week's show. Remember, we had everything about the highlights from the games that happened last week. That is against Express Football Club in the derby, and also against MYDA Football Club. We also brought you the reactions from the fans, the players, the coach of Kcca FC, and also we told you about everything happening in the AFCON Under-20 tournament, our players that keep representing. That is, we got a goal from Steven Serrada against Mozambique last week, and we hope that more and more players from Kcca FC will keep on scoring during this tournament. So that's all about the show today, and you can still watch this show on our website. We have a slot for the Kcca FC TV show, that is kccafc.co.ug. You can also watch the show on our YouTube channel, that is Kcca FC, and also follow the club on the various football channels, that is Kcca FC on Facebook, at Kcca FC on Twitter, at Kcca FC on Instagram. So a lot of stuff happening from the football club. Next week, we'll be back with the highlights and the reactions from the fans, the coach, and the players of Kcca FC after those games between Wakiso Giants Football Club and KCCA, and also the games between Chitara Football Club and Kcca FC at home. That's been it. Season 2, episode 13 will be back next week. My name is Magero Mwanje. Have a good night.